Hello, hi, I'm Brad Rorson, Atlantic and MCA recording artist. I'm a drummer. We're here today to talk with G.D. Hemmings about his new instructional DVD, Rudiments of Reggae Drumming. G.D., how you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir.
Yes, brethren.
Yeah, man, all good.
Let's start out by asking you how long you've been playing drums.
Well, I'm playing drums for the past 40 years.
Wow.
All my life.
All your life.
Yeah, from I was 4.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about your experience. You've got to travel around the world. I read somewhere in one of your bios that you were part of the Jamaican National Marching Band, or...
Oh, that's a Jamaica Conservative Force band.
Okay.
After leaving high school, I actually went into the force. I trained as a cop, but I didn't reach the street.
Okay.
They sent me straight to the JCF band. So our duties were like 8 to 4, Monday to Fridays. We would sit in that orchestra. I would play weekends, different concerts, different shows, travel to the States, United States, Connecticut, New York. So we were exposed to orchestral instruments, theory of music, you know, yeah.
Terrific. Can you tell us a little bit about your background in Negril, Jamaica, which is the reggae capital of the world?
Okay, it's twofold. Actually, before I went training as a cop, I was playing in Negril because I actually started playing like I was 4. I started on my mother's veranda chairs. The chair would be like this, and kids would be playing, but I sat, I'd play a record, I'd listen, and I'd be playing on that chair. I tried to make my own drum set out of pieces of metal, the zinc and all of that. Yeah, and then after, like, at school I would play in the morning, devotion on the desk. It was all drums. I went to school with my sticks in my pocket. Yeah, so after leaving high school, then actually, you know, I said, okay, I'm gonna go to Negril. So I hooked up with the Sobers. He's a prominent keyboard player in Negril. He used to play bass at that time. And he heard about me, you know, because I used to play in the church. And he called me and he said, man, we need a drummer. Willie Dixon had left. He's a good drummer. So he called me and they rehearsed like for like a month. And then he took me to Negril, you know. My mother said, no. Oh, you can't go to Negril, you know. She doesn't know, you know, what's going to happen. I said, no, but I love the music. I was only thinking about the music. I went and I was down there in Negril like for like 2 years playing. But, you know, I felt the need, like I needed to do other things because I was just playing from what I hear on the record, nothing professionally. And I said, man, I need to know to play. You know, I felt that, you know, so I talked to my mom and she said, why don't you go to music school? I said, it's gonna cost a lot of money, so I said, well, let us check out what we can do. And then I realized the force was offering, you know, teach you to play, teach you to read and play and everything. So I entered the force and, you know, I was there, trained for 7 months. They sent me, I requested, so I was sent to the Jamaica Conservative Force band. And I spent actually 7 years touring, learning rudiments of, you know, music. Trust me, it was quite an experience. Orchestra, no, it was under the drum set. Timpanis, bells, xylophone, glockenspiel, bird whistle, claves, woodblock. Trust me, it's a whole works. So after a year or 2, I was a quite rounded drummer and everything. I started seeing things from different perspectives. Started to realize that reggae drumming has a lot of rudiments because now I was exposed to what I was hearing back there. And I realized these guys were playing triple flam, you know, single flam, you understand what I'm saying? 16 notes, semiquaver, double semiquaver, emida. I said, my God, so much things in one music. And it's simple 4/4. So I was so fascinated by this. So, you know, actually after leaving the force, I started my own band in Negril. And, you know, we did like 6 years. Rick's Cafe, 6 years contract, Negril Gardens, next 4 years, Beaches. We had like 3 bands. I had 3 bands running one night.
Yeah, that's about the time that you and I met.
Right.
You were promoting several different bands up and down on the beach.
Right.
People might be interested in knowing that Dave here took me under his wing. I come from a rock and roll background. and with my passion for the islands and reggae music, I always wanted to get up there and take my shot at it. I must say my first attempts were rather embarrassing, but GD here took me under his wing and gave me a good proper introduction and lessons in reggae drumming, which I'm still very grateful to this day.
Right,
thank you, sir.
Right. You're welcome, man.
So, how did you end up moving to the States?
Well, the thing is, I can't believe it. I remember when we met, you say you're from Chicago. My trip is always to New York or Connecticut because that's where the band always goes. I have relatives back that side. I would even imagine coming to Chicago. And years after, I taught you that reggae drumming and everything. Oh, I moved my family, my present family, wife and so on is here in Chicago. So, you know, I had to migrate to Chicago.
Terrific. You've been getting a lot of work in the area?
Yeah, I'm freelance with like jazz band, R&B band, every band, church. Trust me, I played 2 churches, all over. Every band call me. I'm quite, and I have my own band. I just started my own band, the Concrete Band. We did our first show Friday night. Thanks to my friend Lester. He has the White Lion promotion. You know, we did a good show. Bram, the singer, Jalin, you know, helps singing also. And Didi is an African guitarist. He's very awesome. So we put this together right now. So we're going out there, you know. You
played other high-profile shows, the Euro Reggae Fest with Inner Circle.
Right, that's all White Lion promotions. Yeah.
Show recently with the Mighty Diamonds.
Right.
And
that's Dub District. Yeah, Dub District. And Rebel Roots. I was Lester's drummer too, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I play. Trust me, they call me at a minute's notice. I'm ready, you know, I'm ready. I'm out there, I'm playing. I don't even rehearse again. Trust me, you know, not boasting, but at this stage of my life, repertoire, music, jazz, reggae, classical, anything, you know, I'm actually very rooted right now. It doesn't give me a problem because over the years, music takes years to accomplish, you know, at this stage of my life. Thanks to God, you know.
That's how you come with the name Drummer Tough.
Right.
Drummer Tough at yahoo.com.
Marching band, yeah.
You can reach GD directly at drummertough at yahoo.com.
Right.
And also White Lion Productions at checkmyvibes.com. Let's get back to the DVD. Rudiments of Reggae Drumming. Tell me about how you went about producing this DVD.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you might sound fascinating and ridiculous to some people, but as I said, I'm playing like from I was 4 years old. I have reggae band, gospel bands, church, everybody. Funerals, wake, marching band, you name it. Once it's drum, I am there. And after all this playing, approximately 6 years ago, it just came to me that, man, you know, you should put all of this in a DVD. What you do? Because a lot of times I listen to drummers, but what I play is sort of different. And I said, man, it's like a signature. I'm gonna put this in a DVD. So I called my friend. He's an ex-soldier, and I told him about it. And he said, okay, you have a camera, you'll come and film it. He said, studio, I didn't have the money, so I cleared out everything out of my bedroom, set my drums up. We still have that demo DVD. Right now we can show it. I had a towel, I had concrete band on, I hung it on the window to keep the light out and everything. And then I said, come and film this. I borrowed my friend's drum and then we put it up on here and we were there, man. And he said, okay, ready? And trust me, that guy, he didn't shift. He filmed that DVD, trust me, and we were working after that. I said, man, I'm gonna start distributing the DVD. So I take it to one prominent music shop in Kingston, and trust me, that day they wanted to take 25 from me. They said, who are you? How come nobody think of this? I said, man, to clear my, I just said, man, I used to play at the police band, JCF, and the lady, remember, because we buy instrument from her. So she said, okay, and she said, can you give me 25? And I said, okay, and then a gentleman said, oh, you don't know him, take 5. And that day she bought 5 from me. And I saw the potential at that moment because she's a prominent business lady, and if she wants to take all of that. And then, you know, after that I left Jamaica. So the thing is, you know, I said, okay, tell you what, coming to the States, I said, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna redo the DVD, you know. And trust me, it's like, I was waiting while my wife keeps saying, oh, why don't you put it out? I said, no, I want to redo it. I want to get it done in a professional studio, a professional photographer. And meeting Lester from White Lion Promotion, yeah, he gave me a lot of vibes, and you know, I started thinking that I should let him do it. So now, you know, it's actually done and ready to be out there now on the market at Amazon.
Well, I can say from personal experience that it's a terrific teaching tool. The lessons are fantastic for anybody that's interested in reggae drumming, from beginners to advanced students. How long did it take you to produce this?
Oh, well, actually, first I had to do all my notes. So it took me, I was writing maybe for about 2 months, 3 months, just writing. First thing, getting those topics up, you know. And so memory is not a problem. You know, after I get the notes right, get it set up in the format that I want, I don't have to use notes to actually flip. I just say it from my head. That's automatic. Because it's like playing. It's automatic. What I'm saying, I play and I tell you. And I can say to anybody. It's good to play music from hearing, but trust me, knowing theory for any musician is the greatest thing you could. It's like your eye open. It's like learning to be literate, to read and write. Because in the alphabet it's 26 letters. In music it's only 8 notes. That's all you're playing. You hear a guy sound good, he's just using all those notes, and he's just using the dynamics, you know, the accent, triple P, you know, andante, whatever. It's all written in music. Once you're literate to that and you use them, they say you're great. And I smile, I'm just using what's in the book. You won't be a good drummer, I don't say you won't, but it's easy, and it works like when you're playing and you try to remember stuff, it's easy once you hear it. You know, or you're dealing with the people that are theoretically literate and they say, oh, drumming is a 6/8, it's a slow 6/8, kanfuku, whatever. You understand, like you went to the university. It's better for you as a drummer. Don't worry about learning songs. Rudiments, play all songs. Once you learn the 26 letters of the alphabet, those letters develop words. So you know to pronounce, you know the 20, you can spell in a word.
That's terrific.
That's what I'm saying. So rudiments, you have to know that. Trust me, that's what's in the song.
This DVD, instructional video, Rudiments of Reggae Drumming, is available on Amazon.com.
Yeah.
The price point is $19.99, which is a terrific value.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you need to know about reggae drumming in here, from the master drummer tough himself, G.D. Hemmings. Really look forward to seeing more of you in the future.
The big thing about that DVD, the first workshop of that DVD will be March 15th at Old Town School of Folk Music.
Oh, big day.
That's gonna be a big day. T-shirts on sale, DVDs on sale, and I'll be explaining, you know, in depth this DVD at that location.
Terrific. What was the date of that again?
The 15th of March, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Again, Rudiments of Reggae Drumming, $19.99. You can check it out at checkmyvibes.com. Also, you can contact G.D. Hemmings here directly at drummertough@yahoo.com. T-shirts available.
Yeah, T-shirts available.
These stylish T-shirts.
Right. Yeah. Let him read the back. The back says, the drum is not played by strength, but by the flexibility of the arm and the wrist. That's the motto I bring up for drummers. You know,
Terrific.
Yeah, we gotta remember
terrific.
that. You know, yeah.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
All right.
And best of luck, and look forward to all of your success in the future.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.
Hey y'all, we're here to promote Rudiments of Reggae Drumming. Not only is it an instructional DVD, but we have these amazing t-shirts. Our beautiful models, Carolina and Victoria, are modeling these here for us today. Girls, turn around, let's see the back. The drums is not played by strength, but with the flexibility of the arm and wrists. What an amazing sentiment.
Burn a prayer upon the devil. Burn a prayer upon the devil. Burn a prayer upon the devil. Jesus have him on a level. Burn a fire upon Satan. Burn a fire upon Satan. Burn a fire upon Satan. Satan a born loser. Plead the blood upon the devil.